Yep.
This is going to be Blake Ott coming back to Foreign Affairs tractor. And they got it fixed just sitting over there on the sideline right over there. But again, Brian Foover's going to be sitting there number 3 spot at 336.99. Sitting number 2, the Warhawk, Gage Ott sitting there at 348.76. And Cody Meyer on Retired Warfare sitting there number 1 at 349.55. And this is going to be Blake Ott coming up right now on that Foreign Affairs L11. Turbines you got sitting there side by side. But we've got green. We are ready to go. Norfolk, Nebraska, Blake Ott, Foreign Affairs. Got it into a really bad hop there. The rear tires just kind of hopping back and forth, up and down. And they're not carrying any weight on the front. First time I saw this tractor out, they were running about 400 pounds up front. The next pull out I saw them, they actually went down to about 200 pounds. Tonight they did not put anything on the front, putting everything on the back end. But he's going to go 292, 59, 292, and 58. I'm sorry. 292, 58. That is going to put him in the number 4 spot. We got Dave Turkelson on jet lag coming up next. Then we got Tyler Meyer on Blue Thunder. And then Adam Kaiser on Crushing It. And then we will finish off the class with Blake Ott on Frequent Flyer. So that will be the rundown of the class. And we're going to go on the next class will be our Unlimited Super Stocks. And most of the time in that class, when we get up to that, you're going to see all alcohol. Well, tonight we got one diesel tractor that come down. The Lost tractor came down out of Menno, South Dakota. Mark Ulmer decided to come down and play with that. The Weapon, which will usually compete in that light super stock, he has had some issues down in Columbus. That tractor is broke, so have a chance to be able to get it back together. We got a lot of modifieds to come up here yet. Again, we got 4 left. Dave Turkelson on jet lag is the next tractor that's going to be coming up. This is another one of those turbine engines. But again, there's going to be Dave Turkelson coming up to the sled right now. This is jet lag. Pretty much a sister tractor to the Retired Warfare that you saw Cody Meyer going down the track with. Putting on a little light show there. Dave always loves doing that. They got an extra nozzle that'll dump a little bit of fuel in there right up at the very tip. And the exhaust is so hot that it'll light that fuel up. But chasing the Cody Meyer tractor, this is going to be Dave Turkelson on jet lag. And sitting number 3, Brian Foover, that Bear Crop Science. Foover pulling at 336.99. And now we are going to go to Blue Thunder. Tyler Meyer. This is going to be an Allison that hails out of that Nebraska gas turbine shop. The Ott family has been working with those guys to get that tractor running a lot better than what it did last year. And they were having some issues with it, and kind of a spark fuel ignition type problems that they were having. So the Odd family jumped right in there to help them out. Well, and if you kind of missed before whenever I said it, what happened, they lost the streaming too. Somebody had tripped over a power cord, did not realize they'd done it. They unplugged everything. So if you're listening live on the stream, that is what happened. We actually had a little bit of a power outage here. Just somebody tripped over a cord, nothing major. But just want to let you know, Ryan just asked me to pass that on to the viewers of mycentralnebraska.com. And just to explain to you what kind of happened whenever we lost our mic before, but quick thinking of Ryan Kumpf, who jumped off the trailer, followed the power cord, and, oh, those guys got it? Oh, the sound system. Here, I was trying to give you all the credit, Ryan. And it was all the hospital boys back there that found the problem, so. A little different setup on the exhaust here. The Meyer Pulling team runs the same number of valves, same number of cylinders, but they funnel all of their exhaust into one pipe that goes up to the front. But this will be Tyler Meyer out of Hooper, Nebraska again. This is going to be Blue Thunder. A little bit of Allison Aircraft power for you again. Tyler Meyer, Blue Thunder. Got into that bobbing up and down in the front. Just the weight balance off just a little bit. But he is going to go 316.30, 316 and 30. And you can kind of hear it as he was going down the track. He had just a little bit of a skip and a miss there. It definitely hurt his distance there, but that's going to leave him, I believe, in about that number. We're going to put it number 6 right now. And all the distance results I'm giving you are unofficial until Judy goes through them. We're going to have Adam Kaiser coming up on Crushing It, and then we'll finish out the class with Blake Ott, frequent flyer. Adam Kaiser coming up now. This is going to be Crushing It. Got the supercharger up there. But a very nice looking mod coming up here. Your leader is still sitting out there at 349 and 55. Sitting number 2, Gage Ott, at 348.76. And sitting number 3 is still Brian Fuhr. Dave Torkelson on the jet lag, he went 332 and 90. And then Tyler Meyer went 316 and 30. So Brian Fuhr has stayed in that number 3 spot by about 4 foot. Let's see if the crushing it can get down there. And get her into that leader zone. He needs to be over 3:49 and 55. Adam Kaiser. Adam Kaiser is going to go 3:21 and 45, 3:21.45. That is going to put him, I believe, in about number 5 spot right now. We got director left. Blake Ott, frequent flyer, coming up. Another Allison to see once if he can get them Allisons up there in the number 1 spot. We got Cody Meyer, the retired Warfare. That is a turbine that's sitting up there, number 1. The Warhawk Allison aircraft engine sitting there, number 2. And there's about 9 inches to separate 1 and 2 right now. Blake Ott on the frequent flyer wants to put the other Allison into that number 1 spot. We want to thank Colfax Trucking for being a class sponsor. So tonight we're going to call this the Colfax Trucking Modified Class of the Nebraska Bush Pullers, sponsored by BigIronRealty.com and Golden Harvest Hybrids. 2 main corporate sponsors of the Nebraska Bush Pullers. Want to thank both of them for stepping up and being big sponsors of the Nebraska Bush Pullers. We want to thank Colfax Trucking for being our class sponsor here tonight. But this will be Blake Ott coming up to the track right now. Going to get backed up, hooked up to the sled. This is the frequent flyer. The young gentleman that's walking down the track in that red shirt, that is Gage Ott. He is sitting in number 2 right now. And this is their dad, Bodie, that is walking about 40 feet behind him. I do not know where Mom Heather is at. Cody Meyer still sitting there in the lead. 3:49.55, set number 2, Gage Ott, 3:48.76. That's another one. He was hauling the mail. I think he had leaderboard written all over him. I lost a little. They're kind of looking back there at the safety kill switch, kind of thinking they lost the ignition in it. That's why it died on them like that. But he's going to go 3:18 and 35, 318 and 35. But I think he was definitely going to shoot for that leader spot right there. Lost the ignition or something happened in that engine compartment. But give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen. Blake Ott, Norfolk, Nebraska. That is the frequent flyer right now. I'll get you a rundown in the order that they finished here. Andrew Beckman's going to come in at number 9 on the Big Bang Theory. Number 8 is going to go to Blake Ott on Foreign Affairs. Number 7 will be Tyler Meyer on Blue Thunder. Number 6, a frequent flyer, Blake Ott. Number 5 is going to be Crushing It, Adam Kaiser. Number 4, Jet Lag, Dave Turkelson. Number 3 is going to go to Bear Crop Science, Fooler Pole, and Brian Fooler. Number 2, Warhawk, Gage Ott. And the winner of the class out of Hooper, Nebraska, Cody Meyer on the Retired Warfare. Give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen, Nebraska Bush Pullers. Golden Harvest Seeds. Modified class tonight. It has been sponsored by Coley Haw Trucking, so I want to thank them for stepping up. We also got Bellyacre Toys that's up there north of the Zion Lutheran stand if you want to go over there and see some very nice 1/16 scale, 1/64 scale, I think he's got that in there. We do have the one exhibition pass coming up. Tony Rayback is going to be sitting on the seat of Cody Myers, Retired Warfare Tractor. He's doing a test pass tonight. He wants to get a little bit of seat time. He'll be running again for points tomorrow night in the same tractor. And then when Cody is gone, Tony will be running this tractor for him. But I do need to remind people, too, down here on that east end of the track, you need to stay behind that fence. We will stop the show if you get beyond that fence, so we do need you to stay beyond that. If you're on the south side of the track and you do need to get over to the north side to either go to Bellyacre Toys or go get a burger or something, you have to go on the far side. You got to go all the way to the east, around the hay bales. On the back side of it, there's a walking path over there, and then coming that way. And if you want to go from that side, the north side of the track, to come over here to be able to buy a t-shirt or to come over and see somebody over here to talk to them, you must do the same thing. You have to stay on the east side of them hay bales. And that is just a safety precaution, insurance requirement. You see them hay bales that are down there, they are to protect you. But if you are on this side of that fence down there, you are fine. If you are on the other side of it, of this barrier rope that's here, you need to get onto our side of this. Otherwise, we will stop the show until you do move. That is an insurance regulation that we do have to maintain. So, well, this is going to be Tony Rayback again. This is an exhibition hook only. Getting a little bit of seat time in here before he starts pulling it for points. But he's going to be running the tractor that just won this last class. And again, this is an exhibition hook only. The modified class is done. The sled is weighted the same as what it was before. Nothing has changed. All hooked up, ready to go. We are green. Tony Rayback out of Lee, Nebraska. He is driving the Retired Warfare. Pretty good exhibition pass there. Just took his time going down there. Thank you very much. (287 feet for Tony Rayback. Again, you're getting a little bit of seat time on it. He'll be pulling it tomorrow night for actual points, so he's going to be taking the seat of that. Cody Meyer, again, he has to leave to go to South Korea to go work on some turbines over there out of a helicopter. Has to take them out of the helicopter that's over there, ship them back over here to Hooper, Nebraska, and then he will fix them and return back to South Korea whenever they get them shipped back over there. Switch now to our 6,500-pound unlimited super stocks. We're going to start off the Green Lightning, Frank Bowboy, Mark Ulmer on Lost, John Hoffman on Last One Standing, and
for race ramps, personal ramps for cars, trucks, boats, golf carts, cornhole boards, even fridge and Yeti ramps. Demon Decals. For commercial, derby and truck ramps, plus ramps for fire and police vehicles and pulling tractors. Demon Decals. T-shirts, koozies, signs, banners, and school bus kits. Demon Decals. No design fee, fast turnaround, traveling install crew. Demon Decals. Find them on Facebook at Demon Decals. Message, call, or text David Richards anytime at 402-367-8464. Demon Decals in Rising City.
If you're looking for an eye doctor that truly cares about the health of your vision, look no farther. Visit with the skilled doctors and staff at Eye Care Associates to see how their newest technology can have you or even your whole family seeing clearly for the years to come. Eye Care Associates in Columbus carries a wide variety of styles and brands to fit everyone's needs. Contact them today at 402-564-0545. For the best care and sight, choose Eye Care Associates of Columbus.
93.5, The Hawk. The station that made the classics classic. Nebraska's classic hits. 93.5, The Hawk.
KZ100 is Central Nebraska's source for local news, weather, sports, and the leader in agricultural information. We're the station playing your favorite country and focus on covering the issues that affect Nebraskans. Nebraska's biggest FM, KZ100.
Clear 101 KLIR. Today's hits by Maroon 5, Bruno Mars, and Rihanna with popular hits from the 90s and 80s. Wake up to the morning buzz with Riley Scott and Sandy Fisher weekdays at 6 a.m. Your at-work station. Clear 101 KLIR.
For stepping on board with us and being a corporate sponsor of the Nebraska Bush Pullers. It happens. Pro Puller Tires, too, the newest extreme sponsor of the 2018 Nebraska Bush Pullers, has been providing viable options to the current tires that you are using. We are always trying to offer competitive advantages wherever possible and prices that won't break the bank. If you are looking for new or used tires, we are your go-to outlet. We provide several sets of great trade-ins in case you need to replace your current tires. A family-owned business, Pro Puller Tires specializes in you. Our family values, honesty, loyalty, and commitment have been the pillars of our steady growth, and we promise to deliver these values to you. If you're looking at replacing some tires, go on to ProPullerTires.com, or you can give them a call at 402-840-0244. And if you want to follow Nebraska Bush Pullers, you can follow us on our Facebook page. Just search Facebook for the Nebraska Bush Pullers. Here we share experiences, photos, videos, events, giveaways, news, and more. As a fan, follower of our page, you will be able to communicate with us and others on this exciting sport. We thank you for joining us here tonight. And if you're not on Facebook, please just visit our website to stay up to date at NebraskaBushPullers.com. And also don't forget our souvenir trailers over there. Lynn Remmers is sitting in the seat of that big iron trailer tonight. But if you're looking for some t-shirts, Nebraska Bush Pullers t-shirts, they are over there. And we need to thank Kara that does our Facebook page and our website. She has done a very good job of doing that. I want to thank her. She has really gotten the Nebraska Bush Pullers Facebook page and website up and made it one of the premier websites and Facebook pages that we have available to us. Does a great job. Wave. Kara, everybody wants to know who you are, where you're at. But I want to thank her again for doing that. She does an excellent job for the Nebraska Bush Pullers. I want to thank also the X Factor sled. Ed Walker is sitting in the seat of that sled tonight. He was the official, or the head tech official for the Nebraska Bush Pullers for quite a few years. He stepped away from the Nebraska Bush Pullers, went to work for Bungard Motorsports down in Jefferson City, Missouri. We've had the great opportunity and the great privilege of having him run our sled the past couple of years up here. And the one other thing, on the 18th, just a couple days ago, he had a birthday. So at some point in time tonight or tomorrow, we are going to embarrass him just a little bit. But again, Ed Walker, the X Factor sled, is sitting down there doing a very good job tonight of getting these tractors stopped. We've got our first Unlimited Super Stock coming up. Tractor hails out of Howells, Nebraska. This is the old Cornhusker Deere chassis. If you remember from a few years ago, Dwayne Schroeder out of Jansen, Nebraska, campaigned this tractor for many years. We lost Dwayne. I think it was a couple years ago, right after the Colfax County Fair, I believe, he passed away from us. So, but the Bowboy family decided they wanted to keep this chassis in Nebraska. They sold their other chassis, bought this one, put everything from the other tractor into the Cornhusker Deere chassis, kept the name, the Green Lightning. But again, out of Howells, Nebraska right now, Frank Bowboy sitting on the seat of it. He will be the test pull in this class, but this is going to be the Green Lightning. Good pass there for Frank. Gonna set a good distance out there. .23, 327 and 23. He will set the distance out there. Most of the time through Nebraska Bush Pullers, what you're going to see in this class is it's alcohol dominated. Pretty much it's always going to be alcohol tractors. These tractors can run up to 4 turbochargers, 3 pressure stages. They run the 30.5, 32 rear tires. On the Unlimited Superstock side of this, what you'll see, you will not see the gray cast that's going to be for the cast rear end on these tractors anymore. What they've done is they've gone into these, they take a truck rear end, tie it to a drive shaft, go into a transmission, which gets tied into the engine. And they do this because some of these tractors are approaching that 3,500, 4,000 horsepower range where that gray cast can't handle that anymore. So they go ahead and let these guys jump into the Unlimited Superstock class, and they let them run a component truck rear end is what it basically is. So it'll either be like an SQHD rear end or something similar to that is what you're going to see that's based in the back end of these tractors. Now, like with Nebraska Bush, what we do allow is you can run a cast rear end tractor in this, but you are limited on the number of turbos that you can run. And again, most of the time this class is dominated by all alcohol. Well, tonight we got one diesel that showed up out of Menno, South Dakota. Mark Ulmer on Lost. Now, he is a diesel component tractor on this, so he is going to be weighing in. These other tractors are weighing 6,500 pounds. Because he is a diesel, he is going to be weighing in at 6,700 pounds. We give 200 pounds more to the diesel. If he was an ag chassis rear end, he would be able to weigh 7,000 pounds. And the Mean Moline tractor, which you'll see out here every once in a while whenever he does bring it back out of the retirement, which it was supposed to be here, but they found a cracked head in that tractor whenever they pulled it out, inspected it, and they were going to bring that. But the Mean Moline himself, that tractor runs one single turbocharger on a cast rear end, but he can weigh 7,500 pounds. But the Lost tractor right here, I'm going to guess it's approximately 540 cubic inches, 4 turbochargers sitting underneath the hood, 3 pressure stages. You will get major, major boost out of all these between the alcohol and the diesel. It really does not matter. They are putting out some very impressive boost numbers. You will see that smoke go really high in the air. He does campaign a light super stock called the Weapon. Heard that down in Columbus. And they also have a Ford that he's got that they call Eleanor. And that one is currently in the shop getting worked on too. But out of Menno, South Dakota, coming down here all the way to Lee, Nebraska, this is Mark Ulmer on Lost. That is what you call boost and horsepower. In Colfax County, you have a new leader, 339.36, 339 and 36. Mark Ulmer on the Lost is going to get on top of Frank Bobo in that Green Lightning. He's sitting there at 327 and 23. So that is your top 2 tractors right now. We got John Hoffman coming up. 32 mile. 32.8 mile an hour is what Mark Ulmer was going down the track. And some people will say, well, that's not all that impressive. But you have to remember, they are having major tire slippage in this, and these tractors are basically designed to go about 20-some mile an hour with the gearing they got in them from the factory. Well, these all have custom gears in it, and they're turning a lot more RPMs. And they are probably running what I would call a 60-mile-an-hour gear, a 70-mile-an-hour gear that they are running in the rear ends of these tractors. So they are turning them tires hard. But 339.36, that is your current leader. Mark Ulmer on Lost. Frank Bowboy on Green Lightning sitting there number 2 at 327.23. We got John Hoffman out of Dunlap, Iowa coming up next on Last One Standing. And then we got Wes Neiman. What was I thinking? And that will be the 2 tractors coming up. If you are interested in one of our souvenir programs, we do have them up here at the announcer stand. $3 for our official souvenir program. We have them up here at the announcer stand, so if you want one of them, they are full color program, I guess. They got pictures, full color pictures in it. Really, really nice program. Again, $3, you get that. You'll be able to go back to the pits after the poll's over. Get your favorite drivers to sign it. Heck, if you want to, every driver that's here, they'll gladly sign that. So if you get a chance, come on over here, grab one of them programs. And again, this family puts on a great pull over there at Dunlap, Iowa, the Jason Hoffman Memorial Pull. Great family to be around. Dunlap, Iowa's own John Hoffman. This is Last One Standing. He was chasing the distance put out there by Mark Ulmer at 339.36, 339 and 36. That is your current leader. Until this pass, John Hoffman just takes the lead. He goes 339.46. So 1/10 of a foot, which figures out to about an inch. That is going to be the difference in the leader right now. 339.46. John Hoffman, Mark Ulmer, 339.36. And Frank Boyboy sitting there number 3 right now at 327 and 23. So that is your current 3 that you have right now. Wes Neiman, What Was I Thinking, is going to be coming up. Fastest tractor down the track, 34.5 mile an hour for John Hoffman on Last One Standing. So that speed that he had built up that he could get in there actually carried him through to be able to get on top of the distance put up there by the loss of Mark Ulmer. He could drag that sled just a little bit farther. So the next tractor up again, this is going to be Wes Neiman. What Was I Thinking? Hails out of B, Nebraska. Bought this tractor a few years ago from down in Missouri. This used to be the old Merino tractor, the Show Me Showdown. Josh Harrington owned it. He was campaigning this one and another light Superstock. Decided to part ways with one of them, so he sold the What Was I Thinking? But that's what the tractor was not, or that was not the name of the tractor whenever Wes went down to go get it. He went down, picked this tractor up. On his way back home, he had kind of made the comment, what was I thinking? Why did I buy this tractor? Well, he told that story when he got back. Some of the guys that were standing around there kind of looked at him and said, you know what, that's a pretty good name of the tractor. And he goes, what was that? The What Was I Thinking? Got the tractor back out. It has been sitting in the repair shop. And he also campaigns another tractor that competes in the 8,500-pound limited pro stock. That tractor after Columbus the other night broke a gear up in the front of the engine. So that tractor is going to be sidelined. So he decided that he could get this one back running. But a very nice looking 7220 Case IH. And your current leader is John Hoffman, sitting out there at 339.46. So out of B, Nebraska, you got Wes Neiman coming up here right now. He knows the distance. See if the last tractor of the class can come and take the win. They're running on alcohol. I know he's got 3 Chargers underneath the hood for sure. He's going to get that boost up there, going to try to get up there, get 339 and 46 or more. This is going to be Wes Neiman out of B, Nebraska. What was I thinking? Had the nose pretty heavy on there. Just might have been a little bit too nose heavy. Could not get that front end to come up. Was not getting them back tires to bite. But he's going to go 286.89, 286 and 89 for Wes Neiman on What Was I Thinking? And again, if you're enjoying the show we got here tonight, definitely come back tomorrow night. Going to have a great show again coming up. I'm going to give the rundown of the class. Wes Neiman, what was that thing? Is going to finish in the number 4 spot. Number 3 is going to go to Frank Bowlboy on Green Lightning. Number 2, Mark Ulmer on Lost. And the winner of the class out of Dunlap, Iowa, John Hoffman, last one standing. He takes the win by 1/10 of a foot. But put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, 6,500-pound light super stock class of the Nebraska Bush Pullers.
For race ramps, personal ramps for cars, trucks, boats, golf carts, cornhole boards, even fridge and Yeti ramps, Demon Decals. For commercial, derby and truck ramps, plus ramps for fire and police vehicles and pulling tractors, Demon Decals. T-shirts, koozies, signs, banners, and school bus kits, Demon Decals. No design fee, fast turnaround, traveling install crew, Demon Decals. Find them on Facebook at Demon Decals. Message, call, or text David Richards anytime at 402-367-8464. Demon Decals in Rising City.
If you're looking for an eye doctor that truly cares about the health of your vision, look no farther. Visit with the skilled doctors and staff at Eye Care Associates to see how their newest technology can have you or even your whole family seeing clearly for the years to come. Eye Care Associates in Columbus carries a wide variety of styles and brands to fit everyone's needs. Contact them today at 402-564-0545. For the best care and sight, choose Eye Care Associates of Columbus.
Companies big and small to articulate and amplify their brand image to their fullest potential. With national success in marketing, branding, design, advertising, photography, videography, copywriting, events management, project management, or social media marketing, if you follow Nebraska Bush Pullers, then you have seen some of the awesome things that we do. Go find Rival Designs on Facebook or Instagram. So I want to thank them. And Stop Fire Fire Extinguisher, the world's best fire extinguisher, has once again earned the title of the official fire extinguisher of the Nebraska Bush Pullers. AKE Safety Equipment has been helping folks put out dangerous fires for over 27 years. We are proud to be returning Nebraska Bush Puller sponsor for this 2018 season. Stop Fire's proprietary blend of liquefied fire substances, which not only, which not only extinguishes the fire and helps prevent reignition, but also leaves behind no mess or corrosive residue to clean up. Each unit comes with a no-hassle guarantee, and it goes for the lifetime. It's made in the U.S. You can go to ake.com to learn more and see their full product line. I want to thank them for being on board with us. And also Big Iron Realty for stepping up. They're the newest sponsor of the 2018 Nebraska Bush Pullers. They have more than 30 years of experience in farmland sales. Big Iron Realty has proven results with their unique online platform where bidders from around the country can bid on your land anytime, anywhere. Big Iron Realty brings more buyers and sellers together with their expert marketing strategy. Big Iron Realty's family values, honesty, loyalty, and integrity have been the pillars of their steady growth, and they strive to deliver these values to you. If you are thinking of selling your farm, give Big Iron Realty a call at 1-800-887-8625 today or visit their website, bigironrealty.com. First tractor up in this 6,500-pound light superstock tractor class. These tractors are coming in weighing, I believe, 6,200 pounds. But it's going to be the crazy trainer Brad Brune out of Clarkston, Nebraska. He works here in Lee, Nebraska at Wayne's Repair Service. But then we will go to Jake Korth on the young gun from up at Randolph. And then Lyle Ronk, Demon Be Gone, Gary Rimmers on the Hustler, and Irv Hake on the Wildfire. That is going to be the 5 tractors we got here tonight. 2 tractors are missing. The Langen tractors, they are out in Ohio. Mike Langen Jr. is out there in Ohio, and he was not able to get back in time to be able to get up here, so we I miss having two tractors here, the Thunder and the Junkyard Dog. We love to see them tractors up here, but again, they had family commitments out there in Ohio, so they went out to go do that, hoping that they could get back, but not going to be able to. But these tractors can be up to 640 cubic inches. They can run up to a 4.8 inlet on the turbocharger. If they are running one single charger, they can run 504 with multiple chargers. But out of Clarkson, Nebraska, is going to be Brad Brune on Crazy Train. And good pass down that track. He was working it all the way down there, though. He was really trying to get himself squared away. Got a little bit over to that right side, but you could see that that front end was kind of hanging in the air. But he's going to start the class off at 320.85, 320.85. And that will set the distance there. We are official, I do believe. But that will bring up Jake Korth on the young gun out of Randolph, Nebraska. And Brad is going down the track at about 30 miles an hour. But in this class of tractors, there can be alcohol or diesel. They can run multiple chargers. If they do run multiple chargers, they have to be under 505 cubic inch. If they run one single charger, they can be up to 640 cubic inches. We do have another tractor, too, that is broken yet. That is the Keith Baker tractor, the last call. That is the single turbocharged alcohol tractor. He is the defending points champion. Was he? I think he was the defending points champion last year. I got to go back to my souvenir program book and find out. He finished number 4 in points last year. He was the 2016 points champion. Now this tractor, he's been around the Nebraska Bush Pullers for a few years. This is Jake Korth. Sitting on the seat of it. They campaigned this tractor for a few years in the unlimited super stock class. Got the weight down to go ahead and get it down into this light super stock class. They got to be weighing, like I said, that's 6,200 pounds. He is running about a 630 cubic inch engine in this, I believe, spinning at 4.1 inlet on the turbocharger. Kind of had a fun deal the other night when we were down in Columbus, Nebraska. They actually had a Calcutta auction down there. That they auctioned off these tractors, and the money that was raised to that, a certain percentage of that went back to Sergeant Wagler out of Columbus, who was injured. But that was kind of a nice deal. They raised about $2,000 to go to the Sergeant Wagler fund down there, so I do appreciate the light super stock class for stepping up and doing that. And I want to thank the Platte County Fair, too, for allowing that to happen. The money went to a good cause. The farmers up there in the Randolph, Nebraska area, the Korth family. This is going to be Jake Korth sitting on the seat of it tonight. Good run at 66 Series International. They call it the Young Gun. He was fighting himself to that right. He was on that left brake trying to get her to come back around. Just was not coming around like what he wanted, but he was fighting the sideline there, but he is going to end up a little bit short. 3:05.80, 3:05.80. So that will leave him in the number 2 spot. Crazy Train of Brad Brune is going to be still sitting there at number 1. He's out there at 320.85. And we're going to now be bringing up Lyle Ronk on the Demon Be Gone. I have not seen this tractor pull for a couple years. Saw it over in Beebeetown, Iowa a couple years ago whenever we had a association hook over there. I know this tractor has been out. I just have not been around whenever he has pulled. He does not hook with the Nebraska Bush Pullers all the time, but we are definitely glad to see him coming down here with us. Hopefully he will stick around, be here again tomorrow night. But it's sporting that 20 series tin work that you don't get to see very often anymore. Running 43 tin work on it. This is Lyle Ronk, Demon Be Gone. This tractor here is 505 cubic inch, multiple chargers sitting underneath the hood of that. It is a hard runner. And then on deck, we will have Gary Remmers out of Holmesville, Nebraska, that will be coming up on the Hustler. And then the last tractor we're going to have is going to be Irv Hake on Wildfire. So the first 2 tractors you saw down there were both spinning one single turbocharger. Brad has a 4.8 inlet on his turbocharger. Jake's got a 4.1. This is the only tractor in this class that is sporting multiple turbochargers. John Deere fans, cheer him on. A good runner here. Lyle Ronk on the Demon Be Gone. He got himself over to that left side of the track, had to really fight them brakes to get it brought back around. He's going to end up being that number 2 spot at 313.34, 313.34. So Brad Brune and the Crazy Train dodges a bullet there. He's still sitting out there to lead at 320.85. But Jake Korth is going to go down to number 3 at 305.80. And Lyle Ronk gets himself into the number 2 spot. Demon Be Gone, 313.34 for the number 2 spot as of right now. We got 2 tractors left again in this class. We got Gary Remmers on the Hustler, and then we have Irv Hake on the Wildfire. Okay, Gary Remmers on the Hustlers coming up the sled right now. Hale's out of Holmesville, Nebraska down there.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And do some farming down there. He has been the Nebraska Bush Pullers treasurer, I don't know how many years, 12 years, 13 years, I suppose, maybe longer. He holds the title of this, but Lynn, actually, his wife, does all the work. He gets the credit of doing it all, but Lynn does all the work. She's sitting over in the trailer tonight, over in that big iron trailer over there, so. But they were feeling really blessed the other night after the Columbus Fair. They had like an inch 80 of rain that they got down there, and they hadn't had any rain for the longest time down there doing a bunch of irrigating. And then just the other night, again, they got about 2.5 inches of rain, so they are very, very happy down in that area. They said they can actually shut their pivots off for a little while. He finished that number 3 spot in Columbus, Nebraska the other night against, there was 8 light super stocks that were down there that night, so very, very hard competition that was going on. He has been a points champion for many, many years. I think from 2011 to 2013, he was a points champion for the Nebraska Bush Pullers. It always came down to the last pull of the year or the second to last pull of the year to see who was going to get the points championship on this light super stock. Everybody always says the hustler rules. It's kind of a class on this. But out of Holmesville, Nebraska right now, coming down the track, this is going to be Gary Remmers on the hustler. Getting tossed around in that cage there pretty good, but he had a good run going. Your leader is 320.85. That is Brad Brune on the Crazy Train. Sitting number 2, Demon Be Gone, Lyle Ronk at 313.34. Gary Remmers on the hustler. He just goes into the number 2 spot at 319.65. 319.65, so he's a little over a foot behind the Crazy Train, and he puts about 6 feet in between him and the Demon Be Gone. We got one tractor coming up left. Irv Hake out of Columbus, Nebraska, the Wildfire. I am going to be bringing Irv up here in a little bit, but I'm going to try to get him up here after the class. But Irv is celebrating 50 years of tractor pulling this weekend here at the Colfax County Fair. He has done this religiously. But Irv Hake on the Wildfire, if you were down in Columbus, we had a nice little video presentation of him. And he kind of explains how they got the tractor's name Wildfire. Well, the tractor that he bought was a neighbor's tractor. It was in a fire, so that's kind of where the fire part of it come. But back in the day, these tractors were running, they were weighing 5,500 pounds. And it was always kind of a wild ride. Well, they decided to put the two words together, wild and fire, and came up with Wildfire. But again, he is celebrating 50 years of tractor pulling this weekend here in Lee, Nebraska at the Colfax County Fair. Son Jesse's going to be backing him up. He took the win down in Columbus, Nebraska the other night. But as soon as we're done with this class and I get a chance, I am going to try to bring Irv up here and kind of let him talk about what it's been like for pulling tractors for 50 years, and also that he's been with the Nebraska Bush Pullers. And he was one of the founding members of the Nebraska Bush Pullers when they started at Al's Cafe in Fremont, Nebraska, in the basement down there is where they held their first meeting. Do you even know where Al's Cafe is at in Fremont? It's old Highway 275. It used to be 275. Right by a bypass. Al's Cafe sits right there. They had their first meeting in the basement of Al's Cafe, and they formed the Nebraska Bush Pullers that day, incorporated it, and in 1982, I believe, is the year that they actually started pulling, and they were listed as the Nebraska Bush Pullers. But hailing out of Columbus, Nebraska, used to live just a few miles outside of town here back when I was a little one. This is going to be Irv Hake. Columbus, Nebraska owns and operates Columbus Transmission down there. Very hard charging tractor. He knows the distance he's got to beat to take the win here. Again, Irv Hake. Hard running John Deere. Wildfire. Well, we're going to say one thing. The old guy of the group, the one that's been pulling the longest, he's not going to let them young bucks teach him anything. He's going to show them how it's done. 3:39 and 19. Irv Hake, Wildfire, is going to take the win out of Columbus, or out of Lee, Nebraska here, the Colfax County Fair. And again, I will try to bring Irv up here as soon as I can, get him up here and have him talk about this. The rundown of the class, we're going to finish. And number 5 is going to go to Jake Korth on the Young Gun. Number 4 is going to go to Lyle Ronk on Demon Be Gone. Number 3, Gary Rimmers on the Hustler. Number 2, Brad Brune on the Crazy Train. And again, your winner, the last tractor you just saw go down the track, Irv Hake, Wildfire. He goes 339.19 at 30 mile an hour. Give a hand, ladies and gentlemen, the light superstock class of the Nebraska Bush Pullers. Our next class we got coming up is going to be our 9,500-pound limited pro stock tractors. We got Seth Novak.
93.5, The Hawk. The station that made the classics classic. Nebraska's classic hits. 93.5, The Hawk.
KZ100 is Central Nebraska's source for local news, weather, sports, and the leader in agricultural information. We're the station playing your favorite country and focus on covering the issues that affect Nebraskans. Nebraska's biggest FM, KZ100.
Clear 101 KLIR. Today's hits by Maroon 5, Bruno Mars, and Rihanna with popular hits from the 90s and 80s. Wake up to the morning buzz with Riley Scott and Sandy Fisher weekdays at 6 a.m. Your at-work station. Clear 101 KLIR.
About it is whenever you get into this situation and you're working on these tractors, on these pullers, you've only got one way to really pull or try them out, and that's on a track. So whenever we get to an event like this, if guys do have problems, we try to make it available to them and they can go ahead as long as it does not cause issues with the show. So they are going to go ahead and let Blake Ott come out here with the Foreign Affairs to make a test pass to make sure they got this thing dialed back in so it has got the issues figured out. Again, we need to thank some of our sponsors, Mullenhoff Farms, for their skid loader and attachment that they're using right now. And do want to thank them for bringing that in here. Platte Valley Implement, West Point Implement, Steve's Madhouse Market, Kid Hale Trucking, Kid Hale Mycogen Seeds, Caleb Sabata Seeds, Beck Equipment, and B&B Welding. They do stainless steel aluminum repair and fabrication, irrigation, underground tubing for the irrigation systems. Dinkles, Agri-City Insurance, Chad Secchi, Whitfield Trucking, Lee Bowl, Secchi Transportation, Wayne's Repair, Lazy J Land and Cattle, Foreman Lumber out of Columbus, Devrina's out of Clarkson, Travis Went Applications out of Lee, Nebraska, Coley Hot Trucking, RMS, and Dornament Construction. Again, Blake Ott, this is the Foreign Affairs test pass to see if they got both them. And they left that sled set the same thing that they did for that light super stock class. So that sled setting is probably just a little bit heavier than what they were. How about 298? Yeah, he went 298 the first time, or 292 the first time, 298 this time. So a little bit better, but still getting in that rear tire hop. Again, we'll be trying to get Irv Hake to come up here. We can kind of talk to him about his past 50 years of tractor pulling. We have got a beautiful night for tractor pulling here. I tell you what, Ryan, can you get any better weather than this? No, I agree with you there. Hey, while we got a few minutes, do you want to talk about mycentralnebraska.com and kind of some of the stuff that you guys do and what events you got coming up?
Thanks a lot, Chris. Once again, we are mycentralnebraska.com, free streaming service. Of course, some of our radio stations you might be very familiar with, KZ100, 93.5, The Hawk, Clear 101 out of Columbus. Once again, it's a free video stream that you can tune in tonight. We got full graphics. We got a complete rundown of the top 5 in each class that you can go look at. And the great thing about this, for free, after the poll is done, we'll archive this full event. So if you want to go back and relive all the action, you can do so. What we do is we sell sponsorships through the radio station. And while we have a quick moment, I want to thank some of our sponsors in Eye Care Associates of Columbus, Viera Wireless, Demon Decals, and also Gerhold's Concrete, Inc. And yeah, we have tractor pulling. We're talking about maybe adding a few more tractor pulls next year. We do dirt track racing around the state of Nebraska, and of course football and basketball.
Well, thank you very much, Ryan. And if you kind of recognize the voice, KZ100, 93.5 The Hawk. What other radio stations are you all on down there? So Clear 101, you name it, he is on it. It is the world famous Ryan Kumpf. Yeah. Hey, you got a cheering section up there.
It's because they're 2 sheets to the wind already.
No, they're not 2 sheets to the wind already. They're fine. They're sober. But he also does some announcing out at Albion at the Boone County Raceway for the stock car races that they got going on out there. So, and he will be doing the calling of the farm class poll tomorrow here at the Colfax County Fair. Remember to come back for that 11 o'clock. Is that when that all starts up? So we got some good stuff going on for that. And again, don't forget about the Luke Bryan tickets. First, you got to like Jim Stock and John Stock Big Iron Realty Facebook page. Second, share that post. And last, tag a friend you will take with you. The winners will be posted on that Facebook page July 27th. The concert is August 2nd, 2018, Omaha, Nebraska. It's the Luke Bryan What Makes You Country Tour. So if you have any interest in doing that, just go on to Facebook, Jim Stock and John Stock Big Iron Realty. Like the page, share the post, and tag a friend. But then also need to thank Golden Harvest Seeds for being a corporate sponsor of the Nebraska Bush Pullers. Really want to thank them for stepping up in the past couple years and joining with the Nebraska Bush Pullers. And if you're looking for a Nebraska Bush Puller t-shirt, go over to the Big Iron Realty trailer that is over on the east side, south side of the track, east end. And the Nebraska Bush Puller t-shirt or souvenir books are over there. We do have some souvenir books up here too. $3 get you a full color souvenir program. And we want to thank Caleb Sabata Seeds for being a class sponsor. We will list him as our $9,500 limited pro stock 4-1 class sponsor. So I want to thank him for stepping up, donating some money to become a class sponsor here tonight. If you want to try to do anything with the sponsorship of the Nebraska Bush Pullers, definitely give us a shout. We would love to talk to you, and we can get you kind of lined up to be a sponsor with either the Nebraska Bush Pullers, or if you want to just do one here at the county fair, talk to one of your fair board members, and then they will. Hey, Irv, you're either coming up here or I'm coming. Actually, you know what, Irv? I'm coming down there. You take me out of the announcer stand and I destroy things. Come on, Irv. I think we got a few minutes here. Let's keep going. Now, Irv, you've been pulling on this track for 50 years. When we were at Columbus, we kind of understood how you got. Are we still? Okay, we're still attached. Got to point it right to the receiver up there. But can you explain to everybody how you got the name Wildfire? I kind of touched on it before, but I want to hear it out of your own voice that you can tell these people how you got the name.
Well, the tractor was burned in the barn, and when we first got it together, it was in the light class, 5,500 pounds. So it was a little wild, so that made Wildfire.
Okay, of all the things that you've done through your 50 years of pulling, what's been your biggest accomplishments? What would you change if you could possibly change anything through the 50 years of pulling?
Not one thing.
Not one thing. What's your biggest accomplishment that you had?
Well, we won several points championships, and probably the biggest thing is taken to the level the tractor is now. I mean, the horsepower it's got and everything. It feels good.
Well, I'll agree with you there. Anybody that you need to thank, I know you got some people that have worked on it, you got some family and stuff. They all need their recognition, so I want to give you the time to acknowledge them.
Well, my family and I guess all my friends, and I got to thank the Bush for, having the ability or to take us around and do it. And I got to thank Lee, Nebraska. This is where it all started.
50 years ago today, you started. 1968, he started pulling here. Ladies and gentlemen, I know Irv does not like to be up here. Irv Hake, Columbus, Nebraska, put your hands together. 50 years of pulling. Very, very proud of this guy. He's done an awesome job. A great ambassador for the sport. Thank you very much, Irv.
Thank you, Chris.
Is what I do.
Okay, right now I'm joined here by Jacqueline Weezy. She does the residential sales for Big Iron Realty. We got a couple minutes here before they get things kind of going. Do you want to kind of mention some things that you can do and what you're kind of selling or what you have available to us?
I have a house in Newman Grove, Lindsay, Albion, Stiers Lake, Columbus, Duncan. Look me up at Big Iron Realty, Jacqueline Weezy. I'd be happy to sell your property.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for being a part of Big Iron Realty and being a sponsor of the Nebraska Bush Pullers. Without all of our sponsors, I know you probably hear in the fans, you get tired of us thanking all the sponsors all the time, but without them, we could not put on the show that we do. So if you can, please put a hand together for our sponsors, BigIronRealty.com, Golden Harvest Seeds, Sapp Brothers, everybody that has paid some mind to this or has given some money to this, we appreciate their sponsorship. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We we are going to start off now our 9,500-pound limited pro stock class. These tractors run 640 cubic inches, spin a 4.1 inlet on the turbocharger. They run the 24-532 rear tires. They must maintain an ag chassis rear end, so this is a cast iron rear end that is sitting in this. This is the same rear end that you're going to see in a 706 International, a 1066, or a John Deere 4010, 4020, kind of that make and model. These tractors are turning out about 2,500 to 2,700 horsepower. So they will get the power to the ground whenever they go through them 24-532 rear tires. They are coming in weighing 9,500 pounds. This is a little bit lighter and a little bit smaller turbo than what you'll see in the 10,000-pound pro stocks. But these guys are putting out some awesome, awesome numbers. We're going to start off with the first tractor. He hails out of Clarkson, Nebraska. This is going to be Seth Novak. This is the Bounty Hunter. We're going to probably need a pull-off tractor there. I do believe that he has some pump issues going on in that tractor. But Seth Novak put down a great pass, 324.72, 324.72. That tractor had a bad flutter to it there at the very end. But ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Seth Novak, he is the current points leader of the Nebraska Bush Pullers. He just put the distance out there for everybody to beat, 324.72. They will take that tractor back around to the trailer. I'm sure they're going to do some looking at it to see what went on. I am hoping that he did not stick a plunger inside that pump. It kind of sounded like he had a little bit of a flutter going on afterwards, so. And I just got confirmation, too, that they are pretty sure that he did take his fuel pump out at the very end of that run. So, hoping not, but 324.72, that is your leader right now. He is your current points leader in the Nebraska Bush Pullers, too. But we're going to bring up Jeff Eberson coming up on the Gone Rogue. Hails out of Belden, Nebraska. This tractor has competed down at the National Farm Machinery Show down in Louisville, Kentucky. Had an awesome pass the first time going down the track. They decided to re-weight the sled. He came back and had a little bit of failure going with the tractor at that point in time, got a little bit off to the side, had to get on the brakes pretty hard. But this tractor is a runner and a half. Jeff Eberson, Belden, Nebraska. This is Gone Rogue. He is chasing the distance put out there at 324.72. That's Seth Novak on the Bounty Hunter just put out there. But we'll have Todd Davidson coming up, High Velocity Legacy Edition next. And then Scott Sayers on the Outlaw will be on deck back in the pit area. Dan Botch, Mr. AKE Fire Extinguisher right there. They got a pull next week, Central City, Nebraska on Saturday. Friday night, we're up at Wayne at the Wayne County Fair. And then on Saturday night, we're down in Central City. This is the first pull that you guys have had down there. So they want everybody to come down there. They want to prove to everybody down in Central City that there is more to the sport that they can have in their rodeo arena than just rodeos. They want to have a tractor pull down there too, so they're looking for a good turnout. So if you got nothing going on next Saturday, make your way down to Central City, Nebraska, and you can go down there and enjoy a great tractor pull there with the Nebraska Bush Pullers. Again, this is going to be Jeff Eberson out of Belden, Nebraska. Hard running John Deere called Gone Rogue. Jeff Eberson gone rogue. Good pass there. He looks like he is going to take the lead away. Your leader was at 3:24.72. He's going to go 3:33.23. Jeff Eberson gone rogue is going to take the lead out of the Colfax County Fair right now. He's got Todd Davidson, High Velocity Legacy Edition, coming up next. And then we'll be followed up by Scott Sayers on Outlaw. And then Craig Yonke, moving on, is going to be sitting back there in the hole waiting to come onto that track. But again, your new leader, Jeff Eberson, gone rogue, 3:33.23. And Seth Novak on the Bounty Hunter will go down to that number 2 spot at 3:24.72. And again, he did probably take his fuel pump out there at the very end, so. Good, how are you? Man, you should be doing this. You should be doing this. I learned from the best. If you want to know who I'm talking to, this is Al Wolverton. Used to pull the, is it the Alley Cab? No, the D21, the Commotion. That was back, was that mid-80s? That was days of low horsepower? Well, you know, Al, if you still got that tractor sitting in the shed, I bet you we could get it back out here on the track. Oh, I think we could do it. You still got to sit in the shed? It's gone? Long gone? And again, Al Wolverton, a good friend of mine, and still works up there at Cobb Seed in Norfolk, Nebraska, so I want to thank him for coming up here. He did pull Nebraska Bush Pullers. Again, Alice Chalmers D21 Commotion. That was back in the good old days of Nebraska Bush Pullers. That was a long time ago. I'm showing my age. Long time ago. Owners of Osseo Implement coming up, backing up to the sled right now. Todd Davidson. This is the High Velocity Legacy Edition. And I believe if the story is correct, this is the chassis that used to be the Hurricane Alice, back when that was still a ag chassis. But it is good to see the Davison family up here pulling with the Nebraska Bush Pullers. I used to be on my route when I was at Truck Center Companies in Columbus. I would stop down there every once in a while and be able to talk to the Davison family down there. Since I am no longer on the road with Truck Center, I am now at Central Confinement in Columbus. I do not get to go out to see these guys, so I get a chance at a tractor pull to catch up with these guys, so that's kind of great. But an AGCO sitting there right now. This is Todd Davidson sitting on the seat of it tonight. High Velocity Legacy Edition. They are waiting for the laser to get ready to get clear to zero everything out. That is our delay that we have right now. So as soon as they can get everything scored away, get a zero reading on that laser, they can go ahead and give the green flag. But again, after the pull is over, feel free to head on over to the pits. Just kind of keep your head on a swivel when you're over there. Guys will be moving around a little bit. But the pits over here are open, so after the pull is over, you can go ahead and head on over there. Might be able to get a talk to some of your favorite pullers, or get a sit on their tractor possibly. Get up close and personal with it, get some pictures taken. A lot of these guys will have hero cards too that they can sign for you and pass on to you. right now what they did is they got him to shut his tractor off down there. They are having laser issues. So just as soon as they can get that, give you a little bit of a break in the activity here, though. If you want to get up and stretch your legs a little bit, you can go ahead and do that. Don't have to worry about anybody telling you to sit down. We got the laser to shoot the distance now. We are good to go. Again, out of Osceola, Nebraska, owner and operator of Osceola Implement down there, Todd Davidson, High Velocity Legacy Edition. Did not like that sound as it was going down. Something in that valve train might have went out, or he lost a cylinder. Possibility somewhere in that, but Craig Schmidt's out there. He will be taking a look at what's going on. They were down in Texas with this tractor in a different association. They took a turbo out down there. They've kind of had a little bit of struggles with this tractor, so not something that we want to see. But ladies and gentlemen, if you can, put your hands together. Todd Davidson, High Velocity Legacy Edition, the good running AGCO. Glad to see them down here. But did not like to see that going down. And you kind of saw Craig, he had himself a headset on. They have communication with the driver. And what will happen is he actually probably hollered at Todd when he went by. He heard that popping going on. He told him to get out of it right away, back out of it. So that was kind of the nice thing about having that communication on there. He could go ahead and tell the driver to shut it down. Right now, tractor coming up. This is Scott Sayers. Cody Sayers is usually driving this tractor. Scott's sitting on board of it tonight. When they started pulling tractors again, they renamed and brought out the name Outlaw. If you go back to the old school days of Nebraska bush pullers, Leonard and Scott Sayers had a John Deere 4020 that they called the Outlaw. Campaigned it for many years with the Nebraska bush pullers. Cody now serves in the Air Force down at, I think he's stationed off at Air Force Base yet. I believe he's still down there. But it is so good to see the Sayers family back out here pulling with the Nebraska bush pullers. Leonard is no longer with us. He passed away a few years back. It is good to see Scott and his sons out here competing. And it is really nice to see the old name, the Outlaw, back on the pulling track again on the side of a tractor. But he has got some distance to work for him. High Velocity Legacy Edition went 269.83 with that failure somewhere in the engine compartment. Jeff Eberson, Gone Rogue, is still your leader at 333.23. And the bounty hunter, Seth Novak, is sitting there number 2 at 324.72. We got Scott Sayers hooked up to the sled right now. This is going to be the Outlaw. We got Craig Yonke, Pilgrim, Nebraska, moving on. And then we will have Dave Novak on the Mean Farmer coming up to round out this class. Scott Hale's out of Fremont, Nebraska right now. Again, Scott Sayers the Outlaw. A really, really good pass. They took the win up there at Rock Valley, Iowa a few weeks ago at an Outlaw event up there. He is going to move himself into the number 2 spot, 325.24, 325.24 for Scott Sayers on the Outlaw. Your leader is still Jeff Eberson on Gone Rogue. Getting bumped down to number 3, Seth Novak on the Bounty Hunter. Be bringing up Craig Yankee. He will be sitting on deck, and Dave Novak. And then that will complete our 4.1 limited pro stock class. And again, this class is sponsored by Caleb Sabota Seeds. So I want to thank Caleb for sponsoring this class tonight. We got one international left, and we got one John Deere. See once if we can knock off that Gone Road tractor, Jeff Eberson. So Craig Yankee's coming up, moving on tractor, then Dave Novak will be the final tractor again on Mean Farmer. Again, your top 3 sitting there right now. Jeff Eberson Gone Rogue at 333.23. Sitting number 2, Scott Sayers on the Outlaw at 325.24. And Seth Novak on Bounty Hunter at 324.72. That is your top 3 as of right now. Sitting there number 4, Todd Davison, High Velocity Legacy Edition. Had that engine problem going down the track, so they shut it down. But out of Pilgrim, Nebraska, hooked up to the sled, waiting to go green. This is going to be Craig Yankee on Moving On. He had to get on that brake really hard. He was getting pulled way to the right. It looked like he was kind of set up for a little bit of a slingshot where he wanted to cross over that track, go from left middle of that track and kind of shoot himself towards that right boundary up there. Got himself over to this side a little too far. Had to get on them brakes really hard to get that tractor to come back around. But he's going to end up at 3:07.98, 3:07.98 for Craig Yankee on Moving On. That is going to leave him in that number 4 spot. We got one tractor left. This is going to be the Mean Farmer, Dave Novak. So we got one tractor left in this 9,500-pound limited pro stocks, and then we are going to move on to our Super Farm class. It should be, I think there's 13 or 14 that is hooking in that class. 13. So Dave Novak coming up right now. We will have a John Deere that's going to take the win out of here tonight. We just got to figure out if it's going to be Dave Novak on the Mean Farmer or if it's going to be Jeff Eberson on Gone Rogue. Your leader is still sitting there, 3:33 and 23. That is Jeff Eberson out of Belden, Nebraska on Gone Rogue. Dave Novak, the Mean Farmer, is going to shoot for that distance. That is his son Seth that's out there backing him up. You saw Seth with the first hook of this class, the Bounty Hunter. They want to get as square to that sled as they can. If they come out and that sled kind of whips them a little bit with the tire speed that they have, it can change direction of that tractor where they want it to go, and then they got to get on them brakes right away. So they will sit there, get themselves as square as they can, centered into that sled. And after the pull is over too, you can go over there, take a look at how that sled works. Talk to Ed Walker over there at Bungard Motorsports. I think this sled, whenever they is sitting there completely empty, weighs about 28,000 pounds, I think, empty. When they put each one of them bricks in there, which weigh about 2,000 pounds, they can get it up to about 38,000 pounds. But with the weight transfer of it, it can translate into over 60,000 pounds of weight that they get up to at the very top in the end. And they have the abilities to change that through transmissions and trips so that they can go ahead and drop that pan and make it hit harder and faster. Howells, Nebraska, Dave Novak, the Mean Farmer. The question is now, did he go farther than 3:33 and 23? Who thinks we have a new leader? Well, you are correct. 334.38. Dave Novak, the Mean Farmer, is going to take the win. Going to steal it away from Jeff Eberson on the Gone Rogue at 3:33.23. So about a foot and just a little bit of change gets Dave Novak the win out of Lee, Nebraska here on the Mean Farmer. Rundown of the class, Todd Davis is going to finish in number 6. Number 5 is going to go to Craig Yankee. I'm moving on. Number 4, the Bounty Hunter, Seth Novak. Number 3 is going to go to Scott Sayers on the Outlaw. Number 2, Jeff Eberson on Gone Rogue. And the winner of the class, Dave Novak, Howells, Nebraska, the Mean Farmer. If you can, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to the 9,500-pound limited pro stocks of the Nebraska Bush Pullers. The last class that we got for tonight is going to be our 9,200-pound Super Farm tractors. We have got Chad Weisenkamp someday coming up as the first hook. Dark Horse Jim Waddle. Drake Wallman, the Wallman 1066. Steve Cavan, Pride of the Farm.
For race ramps, personal ramps for cars, trucks, boats, golf carts, cornhole boards, even fridge and Yeti ramps, Demon Decals. For commercial, derby and truck ramps, plus ramps for fire and police vehicles and pulling tractors, Demon Decals. T-shirts, koozies, signs, banners, and school bus kits, Demon Decals. No design fee, fast turnaround, traveling install crew, Demon Decals. Find them on Facebook at Demon Decals. Message, call, or text David Richards anytime at 402-367-8464. Demon Decals in Rising City.
If you're looking for an eye doctor that truly cares about the health of your vision, look no farther. Visit with the skilled doctors and staff at Eye Care Associates to see how their newest technology can have you or even your whole family seeing clearly for the years to come. Eye Care Associates in Columbus carries a wide variety of styles and brands to fit everyone's needs. Contact them today at 402-564-0545. For the best care and sight, choose Eye Care Associates of Columbus.
But Big Iron Realty, one of our corporate sponsors for Nebraska Bush Pullers. Again, the Luke Bryan What Makes Your Country Tour giveaway. Just go to Jim Stock, John Stock, Big Iron Realty, like the page, share the post, tag a friend you will take with you, and that will get you entered in for the August 2nd concert with Luke Bryan. And then we also need to thank Golden Harvest Seeds, premier seed company in the United States. Want to thank them for jumping on board with the Nebraska Bush Pullers. If you currently use Golden Harvest Seeds, thank your dealer. If you do not, look up a Golden Harvest dealer to be able to get some seed bought, or just to simply thank him for sponsoring the Nebraska Bush Pullers if you are enjoying the show that we got here tonight. But again, Chad Weisenkamp's going to be the first tractor to hook in this class. Out of Ewing, Nebraska. Some of the rules in this class is going to be 640 cubic inches. They run the Outlaw turbocharger, 13 millimeter inline pump, 24.5 32 rear tires, diesel fuel only, and must maintain the ag chassis rear end. Chad Weisenkamp, this is Someday. Great pass there for Chad. He's going to set the distance right now if he takes it at 3:24 and 66. 3:24 and 66. He is the first puller in this class, so he does have the option that he can go ahead and drop, come back last in the class. We are official. 3:24, 66. Well, being up here and kind of passing on information, I always try to get you the most correct information I can, but they have changed the rule in that inline pump. They can run in basically a unlimited size plunger. Whatever they can run inside that pump is what they're allowed to do. I said before there was a 13 millimeter. That was the old rule that they had. They've kind of changed that around a little bit just to kind of open that pump up. So as the distance they're sitting right now, Chad Weisenkamp sitting 3:24.66. Made this an official pull. Jim Waddle, Wahoo, Nebraska, owner and operator of Red Repair down there. The Dark Horse. Jim has campaigned this tractor in multiple different classes, kept the chassis, changed the engine around a little bit. This tractor is started out campaigning as a super farm. He tried to get it down to the light super stock class, could not get it down there, so he pulled it for a couple years in the unlimited super stock class, just running one big single turbocharger on it. Decided that he needed to take it back up into the super farm, get back up into this class. So he converted it back over, 640 cubic inch super farm motor. And this class right here, we're gonna give this one. The kid held Mycogen Seed Super Farm class, 9,200 pounds of the Nebraska Bush Pullers. So I want to thank our class sponsors for stepping up again. But out of Wahoo, Nebraska, waiting to get green. This is going to be Jim Waddle, Wahoo, Nebraska. This is the dark horse. .324.66 was your leader. That's Chad Weisencam on that Someday tractor. Jim Waddle, dark horse. He is going to go 3:04.08, so he is going to be in that number 2 spot at 3:04.08. We have Drake Wallman on the Wallman 1066 coming up next. And sitting on deck, we got Pride of the Farm, Steve Cavan, followed up by Eric Groney on Husker Hooker. So that will be the next 3 that we have coming down the track. I want to thank Kayla Groney. She is down there reading the distances on that laser down there. She stepped up this year, decided to help the Nebraska Bush Pullers. And also we got Martinson down there flagging at 300 feet.
Who's at 100?
But again, we do need to thank the Colfax County Fair Board for having the Nebraska Bush Pullers here again in 2018. And coming up right now, we got Drake Wallman on the Wallman 1066. Okay, we got a real special treat. Irv Hake and Jolene are going to be throwing out the T-shirts. Mr. 50 Years of Pulling is over there. Hoot and holler at him. Make some noise. He's going to be working his way around that track. But Irv Hake, Mr. 50 Years, is going to be throwing out T-shirts to everybody. His arm ain't what it used to be. So the more noise you make, kind of like what we did with the 106 kicks. Jolene's on this side throwing out T-shirts. Holler at her too. She might be running out. I don't know how many she is out. Jolene, you got a little too free with the T-shirts there at first. Okay, right now hooked up to the sled, Drake Wallman, the Wallman 1066. Drake, he's going to put himself up there in contention for that leader. Your leader's 3:24 and 66. And Drake's going to be at 3:18 and 20, 3:18.20 for Drake Wallman. So it's going to move him into the number 2 spot. He's going to bump Jim Waddle down to that number 3 spot. And Chad Weisenkamp still going to be sitting there number 1 at 3:24.66. We got Pride of the Farm, Steve Cavan coming up next. Eric Groney on the Husker Hooker following. And we got Keith Seidler in the way. That's going to be sitting in the hole back there waiting to get up to this track. I would say we've almost got to have a record-setting crowd here at the Colfax County Fair tonight. What a beautiful night for tractor pulling. I want to thank everybody for coming out. And again, we got a show coming up tomorrow night too. So make sure you head yourself right on back out here. But there's going to be Pride of the Farm, Steve Cavan coming up out of Cedar Bluffs, Nebraska. This tractor is owned by Kent and Lisa Moravec. Good looking 5488 with that beautiful paint scheme on it. But Chase and Chad Weisenkamp, who's sitting out there at 3:24.66. Drake Wallman sitting there number 2 at 318. Jim Waddle sitting there number 3 at 3:04.08. Got Steve Cavan, Pride of the Farm. Lots of years of tractor pulling experience and engine building going on right now. Sitting on that tractor, he's worked on a lot of engines. But this is going to be Steve Cavan out of Cedar Bluffs, Nebraska. International 5488 they call Pride of the Farm. He is shooting for that 3:24.66 put out there by Chad Weisenkamp. He's going to fall just a little bit short, 3:21.46, 3:21 and 46 for Steve Cavan, Pride of the Farm. So he moves himself into that number 2 spot. And going to knock Drake Wallman down to that number 3 spot. Jim Waddle's going to go down to number 4. But Chad Weisenkamp is still sitting there at number 1 on that someday tractor. Got a tractor coming up right now out of Wayne, Nebraska, defending points champion of the Super Farm class with the Nebraska Bush Pullers. This is going to be Eric Groney. And this will be the Husker Hooker. And I've been asked to announce there is a young gentleman here that is turning 6 years old tonight. But it is Jim Waddle's grandson, Grady. So he is turning 6 years old tonight. Grady, where are you at? I am not seeing him. Way down there? Oh, there he is. Hey, Grady, if you want a book, come down here. I'll get you a book, and later on come over to the trailer. I'll get you a T-shirt. I'm over here. You're looking at the speakers. Don't look at the speakers. See me waving? Okay. Come down here. You'll get a book. Find me after the poll. I will get you a T-shirt.
He was looking at the speakers.
But again, hooked up to the sled right now out of Wayne, Nebraska. This is going to be Eric Groney. And again, he is the defending points champion for 2017. He won the points champion. .324.66 is your current leader as of right now. Chad Weisenkamp, the first tracker out on the Someday. Out of Wayne, Nebraska right now, Eric Groney. This is the Husker Hooker. Got himself down there. He's going to be, it looks like, just a little bit short. He's going to go 316.11, 316 and 11. That is going to leave him in that number 4 spot as of right now. We got Keith Seidler coming up in the way. And then we got Spanky's Toy driven tonight by John Nelson. And then we'll have Rodney Elichka, the Feedlot Special, coming up. That will be your next 3 trackers in this 9,200-pound Super Farm Trackers. And it is sponsored tonight by Kid Held Mycogen Seeds. I want to thank him, and the Colfax County Fair Board wants to thank him for stepping up and becoming a sponsor for the night. Again, if you want one of these books that we got down here, they are $3 full color brochure book and souvenir program. Every picture that's in there is a full color picture of all the competitors that we've had last year with the Nebraska Bush Pullers. There is an explanation of how the sled works. And there are some great sponsors that are in there too. But Keith Seidler pulling up on the track right now. Old school. We're going back to the 20 series tin work. Oh, this actually could be the 60-30 series tin work. This is going to be Keith Seidler in the way. Again, your current leader is Chad Weisenkamp out of Yuling, Nebraska on the Someday. He's sitting there at 324.66. Sitting number 2, Steve Cavan at 321.46. Sitting number 3, Drake Wallman at 318.20. Hooking up right now, this is Keith Seidler in the way. Good pass there for Keith. Going to end up just a little bit short, but he had that tractor gone. Pointed her straight down the track. Did not waver at all. But he's going to go 3:07 and 09. 3:07.09 for Keith Seidler in the way. So that is going to leave him in about the number 5 spot. John Nelson on Spanky's Toys, the next one up. Then Rodney Elichka, Feedlot Special. And then Rick Engelmeyer, the Ultimate Muscle, will be the next 3 tractors that we got coming up. Again, we need to thank Platte Valley Equipment for some of the track crew equipment that we got out here. We also need to thank Dinkel Equipment. Those are the 2 tractors that have been going back and forth all night. And the skid loader that's down there. And that is on loan from us tonight from Mullenhoff Farms, skid loader in the attachments. So I want to thank them for having that equipment here for us. And I think the telehandler that's down there too, that they've been moving them weights around, I think that's Grolution Constructions. I will try to find out, but I want to thank them all for being part of the event that we could put on here tonight and tomorrow. So I want to definitely thank them for being here. Sitting on the seat tonight, John Nelson. This is his first time sitting on the seat. So they got a new driver on the Spanky Soy here tonight. That is Mark Roberts down there, works down there at Bennish Service. The equipment salesman down there. And Jonathan Swanson sitting down at the 100-foot flag guy in this class. We got Martin down there at 300 foot. Joel Sawyer is doing the verification of the hooks up there. I want to thank them for doing that. Dustin Marty for unhooking the tractors. Again, John Nelson, this is Spanky's Toy. A very good pass for the first time sitting on the seat of that tractor. He pointed her straight down the track. Mark Roberts, I think you got yourself a new driver there. He did a good job. He is going to put himself into that number 5 spot, 315.17. 315 and 17 should put him about number 5. Rodney Elichka out of Schuyler, Nebraska is coming up next. The Feedlot Special. Rick Engelmeyer on the Ultimate Muscle will follow him. And then Jim Nabuda out of West Point, Nebraska will be coming up on Unforgiven. That will be the next 3 tractors we got coming up in this class. Again, our 9,200-pound Super Farm sponsored tonight by Kit Held Mycogen Seeds. Premier sponsors of the Nebraska Bush Pullers, though. Golden Harvest Seeds, again, they have been a great sponsor for the Nebraska Bush Pullers for the past couple years. I want to thank them very much for stepping up. Kevin Davis is here. I know he is from the Wayne County Fair, had a seed dealership up there in Wayne County. But I want to thank him for being instrumental in getting Golden Harvest seeds on board with the Nebraska Bush Pullers. Do want to thank him for that. But a family that does a lot for the Colfax County Fair up here. This is going to be the Elichka family coming up. Rodney's sitting on board of this tractor tonight. This tractor is driven by Rodney and Dave. Rhonda used to drive it. Mom, she had some back issues. Had to get out of the driver's seat. Couldn't do it anymore. Had some knee surgeries done too, so she kind of got completely out of the driving duties. Dad Dave and son Rodney took over all the driving duties for this. They finished number 2 in the points last year on this feedlot special. You will see them maybe tomorrow bring out the little 560 they got that we've been trying for years to get them to compete in the light super stock class, call it the Alki edition. But they call this one the feedlot special diesel edition. This is going to be Rodney Elichka tonight. Sitting on board out of Schuyler, Nebraska. Your leader is still Chad Weisenkamp someday at 3:24.66. Rodney Elichka, the feedlot special. He is going to put himself in the hunt down there. He is close, getting up to that 3:24.66 area. Going to end up just a little short at 3:17.15, 3:17.15. But that is going to put him in number 4 right now. And some of the other people we need to thank too. Mike Orderman, I know he's down there hooking up. I believe Kyle Deloy was down there hooking up some tractors before too, so I want to thank them for helping out put this show on. Got Rick Engelmeyer coming up next. He hails out of that Beamer, Nebraska area. This is the Ultimate Muscle. And then he'll be followed up by Jim Nabuda out of West Point, Nebraska, the Unforgiven. And Mike Dunklow on Burning Bucks will follow him. And then we will go on to Magnum Force Norm Cavan coming up. And then Dream On, Brian Deck. That tractor is usually piloted by Rod Deck, but tonight brought it down here to compete. Nebraska Bush Pullers, Brian brought it down. Usually campaigns the one bad apple in the 4-1 limited pro stock class. But that tractor is broke right now, so they are in the process of fixing that one. So they brought down the Dream On. But coming out on the track right now, Rick Engelmeyer, the Ultimate Muscle. I'm getting old. I'm getting old. I gotta sit down. But Chad Weisenkamp out of Yuling, Nebraska, is still sitting there in the lead at 3:24.66. Sitting there number 2, Steve Cavan at 3:21.46. Sitting number 3, Drake Wallman at 3:18.20. And then Rodney Elichka sitting there number 4 at 3:17.15. So that is your top 4 as of right now. Looks like they are ready to go down there, getting that chain tightened up. Out of Beamer, Nebraska, Rick Engelmeyer. This is the Ultimate Muscle. He's going to be right into that, like we were just talking about it up here. They got him all bunched up pretty tight. 317.73, 317.73, so he will move into that number 4 spot. The feedlot special will drop down to number 5, but the top 3 are going to stay the same. Weisenkamp on the someday. Pride of the Farm, Steve Cavan, and Drake Wallman, Wallman 1066. Those top 3 are still sitting in that same spot. Rick Engelmeyer just goes into the number 4, drops Rodney Elichka down to number 5. We've got 4 tractors left, and we will conclude our show tonight here of the Nebraska Bush Pullers. We got Jim Nabuda, Unforgiven, West Point, Nebraska coming up. And then we will have Burnin' Bucks, Mike Dunclow coming up next. Norm Cavan on Magnum Force, and then Brian Deck be the last tractor on Dream On. So that will be the next 4 tractors we see here of the Nebraska Bush Pullers. But again, out of West Point, Nebraska, backing up to the sled. A tractor we do not get to see out very much. This tractor has been in the tractor pulling family for a long time. I think this tractor was bought brand new as an 856, and I think it came home and got converted into a pulling tractor right away. Jim Nabuda, West Point, Nebraska. I believe he used to pull a modified with the Nebraska Bush Pullers called Candyland. That was a long time ago. I am really showing my age tonight on this one. I'm going back a long ways in history. But a good looking 856 here. Wild Willard, that is right. But Jim Nabuda out of West Point, Nebraska. This is Unforgiven. The old Unforgiven tractor, he's shooting out there for that Weisenkamp distance. So someday, your leader is at 324.66. Gonna end up just a little bit short. 323.86. Gonna move him into that number 2 spot. So Jim Nabuda comes in at number 2 right now. He's gonna knock Drake Wallman down to number 4. Steve Cavan is going to go to number 3. Chad Weisenkamp is still sitting there, number 1, the first tractor out of the class, 324.66. We have got 3 tractors left to go in this class. Mike Dunclow, Burnin' Bucks, Norm Cavan on the Magnum Force, and Brian Deck coming up on Dream On. That will be the next 3 tractors to finish out the night here at the Colfax County Fair in Lee, Nebraska. Coming out on the track right now, this is going to be Mike Dunklow, Pilger, Nebraska. This is the Burning Bucks tractor. A couple of years ago when Pilger had their tornado up there, this tractor was actually sitting outside of town, and they said one of them tornadoes went right over top of where this tractor was sitting at. So they kind of lucked out on that one. This is a good, hard-running tractor. He has been the defending points champion before with the Nebraska Bush Pullers. It is a good, hard runner. Mike Dunklow. Ryan Ferricks is out there. He does some wrenching on this tractor too. He helped back Mike up. They'll get that chain tied again. And getting ready to go. Shooting for that distance, 3:24.66. Chad Weisenkamp, still your leader, the first tractor out of the class. This is going to be Mike Dunklow, Pilger, Nebraska. This is Burning Bucks. Trying to get that John Deere to take away that lead for that Someday tractor. He's going to end up short at 318.56, 318.56. They are stacking them all in really, really tight. That is going to put him in the number 3 spot. The way we can kind of get a quick rundown, Drake Wallman is going to go down to number 4. Drake Wallman will go number 5. I think that'll put... Yeah, we'll get the rundown here afterwards after they get everything sorted out. I know your leader is still Chad Weisenkamp, Someday tractor at 3:24.66. Sitting number 2, Jim Nabuda on Unforgiven at 3:23.86. And then Steve Cavana sitting there number 3 at 3:21.46. And then 3:18.56 is going to be Mike Dunklow in 4th spot. And in 5th will be Drake Wallman at 3:18.20. So that is your top 5 as of right now. I got a tractor that hails out of Cedar Bluffs, Nebraska coming up next. This is Norm Cavan on the Magnum Force. Okay, again, backing up to the sled right now. This is Norm Cavan, Magnum Force, Cedar Bluffs, Nebraska. He has competed at all levels of tractor pulling in the Super Farm class. He has been down to Louisville, down to the Farm Machinery Show down there. He has been up to Tomah, Wisconsin, the Dairyland Nationals. He has been to Bowling Green. He has been to the Who's Who of tractor pulls. Shooting for the distance, put out there by Someday, 3:24.66. Cedar Bluffs, Nebraska, Norm Cavan. This is Magnum Force. I think we have a new leader.
Got it.
Colfax County, how about 3:31 and 95? Norm Cavan, Cedar Bluffs, Nebraska, second to last tractor in the class, takes the lead away from Chad Weisenkamp. He dodged 10 bullets that shot after him. He was going down the track on the Magnum Force at 31.2 miles an hour. Chad Weisenkamp on Sunday is going to get bumped down to number 2 at 3:24.66. Sitting there number 3 now, Jim Nabuda on Unforgiven at 3:23.86. Number 4 is going to be Steve Cavan on 3:21 and 46. And number 5, Mike Dunklau at 3:18 and 56. We have got one tractor left to go in this class. Again, I want to thank Kid Held, Mycogen Seeds, for being the class sponsor of our Superform class here tonight. One tractor left, and again, it has been a privilege for me to be here again tonight. We have the Dream On tractor coming up next out of Winside, Nebraska. We have a show again for you tomorrow night. We're going to kind of repeat the classes that you see here. We are going to have the 8,500-pound limited pro stocks. They will not be here tomorrow night. We will add our 3,200 RPM class, and they will be here instead tomorrow night. But the unlimited super stocks will be back. The super farms will be back. The light supers, the 4-1s, and the modifieds will be back again tomorrow night. So we've got a great show planned for you tomorrow night too. Come on out, do the same thing again. But Halen out of Winside, Nebraska up there does a lot of grain farming, does a lot of tractor pulling when he can in the summertime. He has been an NTPA champion with this tractor. The Dream On tractor has been a NTPA Super Farm champion. Rod Deck is usually the dad, and he's usually sitting on the seat of it tonight. We got Brian Deck sitting on the seat of the Dream On tractor. Last tractor in the bunch to see if he can take the win. Brian Deck, Winside, Nebraska. This is Dream On. It is gonna be tight. The Dream On is gonna finish at 3:31.13. He is gonna finish 8/10 of a foot back, so about 7 inches or so in back of the Magnum Force tractor. I will give you a rundown of the class just as soon as they get it all figured out here. But on behalf of the Nebraska Bush Pullers, I want to thank you very much for being out here tonight. We will be back here again tomorrow night. The farm pool tomorrow afternoon. Pits are open. If you want to go back there and talk to the drivers, you can do that. But on behalf of the Nebraska Bush Pullers, again, I want to thank you very much for coming out. I will give you a rundown of the top. And I'll give you a rundown of all 13 as soon as we get them all figured out here. Okay, finishing number 13 spot is going to be Jim Waddle on the dark horse. Number 12 is going to go to Keith Seidler in the way. Number 11, John Nelson on Spanky's toy. Number 10, Eric Groney on the Husker hooker. Number 9 is going to go to Rodney Elitzka on the feedlot special. Number 8, Rick Engelmeyer, Ultimate Muscle. Number 7, Drake Wallman, the Wallman 1066. Number 6 is going to go to Mike Dunclaw on Burning Bucks. Number 5, Steve Cavan, Pride of the Farm. Number 4 is going to go to Jim Nabuda on Unforgiven. Number 3, Chad Weisenkamp on Someday. Number 2, Brian Deck on Dream On. And the winner of the class, Norm Cavan, Magnum Force, goes 331 and 95. That concludes our show for tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Nebraska Bush Pullers again, I've been Chris Kripke from here in Lee, Nebraska. I've been your announcer. I will be back again tomorrow night, so I want to see you here. It'll be a great evening event of pulling again. See you here. Have a good night, and the pits are open, so go ahead and go talk to your favorite drivers. Thank you.